Well, that was absolutely terrible. A reminder of how poor this Man United side can be at times. Look, I want to just say this from the start here. United lose 2-1. It's a frustrating match reaction. It's it's not so much anger. It's one of them acceptance moments that this was always going to happen with this team that we all have to remember is going to be there. I think while watching that game, I kind of knew 10 minutes into the second half, playing against 10 men, I lost the plot. I settled into my chair. I sat back. I watched that half, expecting what happened in that game in the end there to happen. And I think I found myself just at ease with what was coming because I knew it was going to come. It felt that way. You cannot go into a game at St James's Park, whether it's 10 men against 11, whether it's a poor Newcastle side that haven't won in ages, which it wasn't. It had everything there for Man United to go to St James's Park and win that game. No big star players. Everyone out. The spine of their side gone. No Guimaraes, no Voltemeda, no Fabian Schär, nobody Nick Pope in goal. He brought Ramsdale in. The whole spine of that side completely decimated. Players that were out of form completely. But if you go to St James's Park and you don't match the desire, passion and determination of that Eddie Howe side, and you know that is the one thing that you're going to have to deal with at St James's Park, the atmosphere and the passion and the desire. If you don't match that, you're always going to lose. And United never matched it. From the minute that they get that game kicked off, Manchester United were not at the races. It was dreadful. I'm just going to call it as it is. We're still in the top four race. We're still third. I'm not overly concerned. I just knew that this was coming. I'd rather it come now so we can take this break that we've got now and actually try and assess what is going on and deal with why we look, and what my biggest concern from that game was, why Manchester United look absolutely knackered. And I'm not exaggerating there. Kobbie Mainoo at 20. Oh my God. We're not playing double game weeks here. Him and Casemiro. I mean, Casemiro scored the goal. He played some nice balls early on in that game. But dear God, the lack of composure and tiredness creeping in. Maybe tired legs, tired minds, bad decisions that were made. The fact that we had to make a double substitution to try and change that game around. And the players coming on that pitch were Diogo Dalot and Manuel Ugarte is the one thing that concerns me the most. We have got no one to change it. We cannot afford to carry players that are having a bad game that are so important for us. We cannot afford to carry Bruno and Mbeumo and Sesko at the same time. And just on Benjamin Sesko, by the way, I felt sorry for him. Them senior players around him, the ones that are supposed to create the chances for him, feed him, put a cross into the box, I thought they let him down tonight. I really did. And Bruno played some good moments, played some good balls. Euro should have scored. He put a great ball in that got us the equaliser. Thank you, Bruno. That's good, that's good. But when I want my captain to control a game against 10 men, he disappeared tonight. He was shocking. The whole midfield, Bruno, Casemiro and Mainoo, have all played terribly tonight for me. They have. And Bruno's moments weren't enough tonight to get us through that game. And that's the way Bruno plays. And them games can come around and them games can happen for Manchester United. They really can. But honestly, if we're being honest with ourselves now as Manchester United fans, that result and performance has kind of been coming. It has, hasn't it? We've got away with it over the last couple of weeks. And this is the worry, how have we run out of steam at this point? We'd gone into the Everton game off a 2-week break. We then had enough time between Everton and the game against Crystal Palace. We looked lethargic against Crystal Palace. And for a good half an hour, Manchester United was shot. And then I'm thinking, wow, again, we've actually got away with it here. And we should be taking advantage because, like against Crystal Palace, the red card changed the game. The red card should have changed the game tonight. And that there, I think, is the biggest slap in the face for all of these players because I think they've been walking through games over the last couple of weeks, these United players. Done enough, battled it out. But when you're not controlling games and it's on a knife edge like that, it can go either way. Against Everton, it went our way. Against Palace, it went our way. Against Newcastle, it didn't. It happens in football. You should be controlling that game and making decisions that keep you fully in control of it and how everything is going. You should be determining how the tempo of that game is going when you're playing against 11 men against a team that had lost 3 in a row previously, that were booing players off the pitch, that got beat 3-2 at home to Everton, that conceded 3 against Everton in the last game. You should not be allowing that game to get away from you the way that it did. And tonight, again, honestly, the big thing to come out of it is the fitness levels and the lack of depth. And the fact that we brought on Dalot, Agate and Malacia in only our second double game week in Carrick's spell in charge tells you we haven't got enough players. It tells you when we needed players to be fit, they weren't there and weren't fit. I've moaned about Mason Mount not being available for Manchester United when we need him the most so many times this week, and now you've got it tonight. When you just need that player, that clever player, just to hold on to the ball, who's got a bit of experience, who's been there and done it, just to guide you through. Get Bruno off the pitch, or get someone like Cunha and Bruno off the pitch, and just bring on that little bit more. I just cannot believe how much fall off there's been from the likes of Ahmad and Brian Mbeumo over the last couple of games. It's a real concern. It is. And I'm now waiting to see a reaction. And in a weird way, kind of intrigued to see how this goes for Carrick now. First defeat. Yep, bit of a come down, bit of a slap in the face. Honeymoon period gone. That went a while ago, and I've been saying that for the last couple of weeks. Performances hasn't been good enough, and we've got away with it a bit. But I think now we're going to see what he's made of, how he galvanises this team. And it's going to be difficult for him because we've got a big break. If you're going back into another game straight away, you can get the players in, you can go and right the wrongs. But we have to sit on this now. And all of a sudden, Villa at Old Trafford is an absolutely massive game of football for Manchester United, because it could be the difference from Champions League and no Champions League. Because if we don't beat Villa, then we're going up against the Bournemouth side away from home. We've scraped through some of these away games recently, by the way. And it could make the difference in finishing in that top 4 and getting Champions League football. All of a sudden, we've just been knocked down a peg or two, and the reality factor has kicked in again, that these players have got that game in them, and we now have to hope that they can react the right way. We've got to hope that Carrick can turn them around, Steve Holland can do his job, and everyone at Manchester United, that feel-good factor has been shot tonight. It's been shot in the gut tonight, and they are going to have to work hard to get these players around, because they didn't look good at all tonight. Not one player on that pitch deserved any praise tonight for me. Apart from Senna Lamens, honestly, again, in the moments early doors in the game when the pressure was on, but he stood tall. Nothing he could do with the goals. No blame on him at all in there. Defensively, Mazraoui had some rash decisions. When Dalot came on, he did his usual Dalot heads gone moments, giving needless free kicks away and piling the pressure onto United. Harry Maguire did his bit. Lenny Yoro I thought was decent in the game. Again, good game for him. But then going forward, no one played. And when you've got 2 midfielders in Casemiro and Mainu who are not dominating that midfield, and you've got the forward line which is playing so poorly, shout out to Cunha, because I thought Cunha actually did bits tonight and he was all right. And look, I would like to be talking about a Man United win because Yoro put that header in, or that shot that Xerxes hit went top bins, and we'd be talking about Man United grinding out another result right now. Well, let's be honest, we haven't controlled any of the last few games that we've played, and they could have gone either way in each of the games. Tonight, like I just said a moment ago there, it didn't go our way, and United got punished by a team that wanted it more. And they have to go and lick the wounds and come back now. And the first defeat for Michael Carrick, first Premier League defeat. Let's see if we do get that bounce back that we need now. Villa at Old Trafford is going to be absolutely massive now for Manchester United. It really is. That is such a disappointing night for United. And I'm gutted, I am, that we could be that bad. But I'm more concerned than anything with the fitness levels. We look like we're tired. And I think certain decisions are coming off the back of being tired. I don't know why. training isn't as intense, so we're being told. There's not as many games. How are we blowing a gasket like that so early in that game? Wow. Unfortunately, a bad night for Manchester United and Michael Carrick, and that's all there is to say. Get your comments in below. Make sure you hit the like button as well. Subscribe to Forever United TV. Just got to be brutally honest tonight. We didn't deserve it. Well done, Newcastle United.